There's an upcoming game that has the potential to do extremely well with a whitelist that is still currently open. Think Clash of Clans mixed with Axie Infinity, and you get Heroes of Mavia. This is going to be the AAA blockchain-based builder game that's on both desktop and mobile. And when you think of Clash of Clans, the potential, Clash of Clans was the most popular Android gaming app back in April of 2021, where they had 1.9 million daily active users. So the potential for this game to even just capture a fraction of that marketplace has the potential to do extremely well. Whether you're looking to flip this, or if you want to hold and you're trying to figure out if this is going to be a great passive income opportunity. Disclaimer: crypto is risky. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a financial dancer. Please use this advice for entertainment and information purposes only. We're going to do a deep dive into the Heroes of Mavia universe and the project itself, as well as whitelist opportunities that are still available. So one of the narratives going into 2022 is the blockchain metaverse narrative. A lot of the people are excited. When you look at Elo Trade's channel, if you look at Alex Becker, a lot of people are excited about NFT gaming. One of the biggest things that people overlook is that some of the biggest games are going to be mobile games, and making that available to everybody. When you see some of these AAA games, there's not as many people with high-end gaming computers to be able to play these games. So when it has a mass appeal and is able to be played on both desktop and mobile, it has a higher reach, especially with the onset of Axie Infinity setting the precedence and doing extremely well. Even though their tokenomics and the game mechanics with their token needs a lot of work, as we're seeing recently, Heroes of Mavia is playing within the Southeast Asian market and is going to give the ability to take advantage of that market as well. This is a base builder game like Clash of Clans, but has the play to earn aspects. So basically you build your base and your headquarters, and you basically have to defend it against other people attacking your base, and then you attack other people's bases. It's a strategy base builder game. You build walls, deploy turrets, place traps, you have different units, you upgrade them, and then there's different counters and strategies based on how you're building your base. There's going to be 3 main resources within the game. It's gold, oil, and ruby. And ruby is the in-game cryptocurrency that you're going to be able to trade and also earn. There's 3 main types of NFTs inside this project. There's your base, which is also your NFT land. This is your hero NFTs, and then you're also your statue, which upgrades your base. That gives your base buffs and increases the efficiency of your base. They have some notable partners within the project. When you just look at Animoca, Binance Labs, Delphi Digital, Guildfi, Yield Guild, Alameda Research. So you have some legitimate backers within this project. Skrice Studios, I don't know how you pronounce that, but that's the team behind Heroes of Mavia. There's nearly 40k followers on their Twitter page alone. They're a team that's based in Hanoi, Vietnam. The additional staff around the world: US, Brazil, Germany, Ukraine. They have over 60 plus members. They've raised about 8 million for the studio for their games, and then they have about 15 plus partners, which the highlighted ones were some of the ones I mentioned earlier. And they said that they've been founded in Q2 of 2021. So it's a relatively new team that hasn't been together for over a year yet. So we're gonna still have to see what their track record is, but they have the funding. They also have the hype with different influencers picking this project up. Also different communities, including MVHQ, which is one of the communities I'm part of. And you hear different people talking about this project right now. Here's the executive producer for this project. Avian is his artist name. He's a freelance 3D artist with 15 years of experience. When you look at the visuals and the different trailers that he has, you can tell that he's had experience within the mobile market. Here's Summoner Wars, which is a expensive gacha game that's been going on for a long time. I've wasted a lot of money trying to get, and not even trying to get NFTs, trying to get champions inside, heroes inside this game. And then the actual Heroes of Mavia Twitter page has about 65k followers, followed by a lot of notable people. And let's dive into some of the more interesting parts of the project, like their dual token model. There's two tokens. Mavia is the governance token. This is used to buy and sell, and then also has staking and NFT prizes for staking as well. This is not used within the game. The main one is Ruby. This is going to be mainly used for that play to earn model where you can earn Ruby, from defending, from attacking, and this is mostly used for upgrading your in-game NFTs. So it's nice that there's going to be a lot of different burning mechanics to be able to use this. Here is a flow of the different uses of the Mavia and Ruby token and where you can move in and out of the ecosystem. And they created a simulation for in-game rewards and items to maintain balance and sustainability when you look on their Twitter page. This goes into an in-depth model and workflow of what their engineers built to be able to show how everything is earning, where everything is earning, and this flow is able to show the different technical aspects of the game and to be able to manage a more complex economy. But I like this because it shows that they put a lot of thought into how everything's getting burned in maintaining a stable in-game economy. They've rebranded and marketed base building into wealth building, which is actually pretty smart. Bases is the core of the game. This is the land, this is where you build your base, and this is what is required for you to be able to play. So a quick overview of bases. Limited in quantity, can be purchased, rented, or leased through their marketplace. Each base is its own entity, having unique coordinates in the Mavia Island map, can be resold, can be rented out for passive income. There's a potential split and partnership for splitting Ruby profits 50-50 with the owner and the player. Each base is considered a headquarters, just like Clash of Clans, where you can make upgrades to base building, troops, heroes, plus more. And it can only be upgraded through Ruby. Upgrades to your base will also increase your daily maximum Ruby earnings. Upgrades are permanently attached to the NFT. So if you were to sell the NFT in the base, all of the upgrades, everything go along with that NFT. A single player can own multiple bases, similar to how a landlord can own multiple houses and then rent them out. All battles and base activity is also recorded, so you can watch the top players and you can see how everybody is building to be able to prepare, which is great for the meta. It's great for newer players coming in, and it's good to just see how everybody is building their own bases. And then for renting out bases, you agree on a fixed daily rate to be paid in Mavia for your base, as well as the duration of the lease and how long you're going to rent it out for. And then the owner is not entitled to the Ruby earnings from the base, but with base partnerships, the owner and the person partnering, or the player, is going to split the proceeds 50-50. Things like Axie Infinity, and that is actually one of the things that interests me most about Mavia, besides the fact that it's a base builder and I enjoy playing Clash of Clans, is the fact that I can just rent this out and not have to worry about managing scholars and having to be on top of them for earning Ruby. I can just have something, maybe build it up, and then just rent out the base. We'll see what the play to earn economy is behind that and what is best practice for optimizing that. But that interests me enough, and that the fact that it's on my phone, that means I can play while I'm outside and not have to worry about being in front of my computer all day, every day. I can just manage everything through my phone, or at least that's what I'm hoping. So heroes are exactly what they sound, but each base can only equip 4 heroes to defend and join in attacks. Each hero has like a special attack. They're limited in quantity, can only be bought and sold with the Mavia governance token on the marketplace. Can be upgraded with the in-game crypto token, Ruby. You can also buy skins, think League of Legends, but you can actually buy skins for the hero, and it's permanently attached to this hero NFT. So this increases the resale value if you have more skins available for the champion, and it increases the resale value if you have more skins attached to this hero. And skins are bought in game with Ruby. A single player can own an unlimited amount of heroes, but can only equip 4 heroes at a time, but those heroes can be swapped out at any time. There's no time limit, at least at this point. Next NFT is basically a buff NFT. As long as you hold this and you place this inside your base, you get a certain buff, a certain increase. It could be increasing the speed. It usually ties to increasing the speed and efficiency of your base, increasing resource production, cooldown time, building time, troop training time, and a lot more. If you play Clash of Clans, then you have an idea of all the different speed ups. Just like Heroes, you can only hold up to 4 statues, and then again you can watch what the best players are doing with the top statues. Here are the different use cases of being able to use Ruby, which is really important for being able to burn Ruby, and a need and a want for the community to burn and use Ruby. Otherwise, everyone would just hoard it for money and then just keep on dumping on the market. Headquarter, NFT upgrades, hero upgrades, statue upgrades, purchasing oil and gold, which you need to build different assets in your base, process speed ups, and then skins and decoration. Think of all the microtransactions that are bought with in-game cash. This is going to be the in-game cryptocurrency. So here are the different ways to earn Ruby. So winning attack, defending, there's gonna be base obstacles that sometimes randomly appear on your base for you to work on. There's challenges, which are basically just daily quests that you can just earn. And there's gonna be challenges, which are just basically daily quests of earning Ruby, just like any other game, mobile game that's been out there. Partnering up with someone to be able to manage and play your base. And then this is really interesting, wagered matches. So for people who don't know, within the competitive community, there's money matches. Here you can actually wager and gamble your Ruby, and whoever wins takes all the money, which is a very interesting mechanic that they put into this game. Here is the 12-month roadmap for Mavia. So the first part that you can't see because it's blocking is Q4 2021 is community launch of Telegram, Discord, game prototype demo, then game art and graphics were released. So Q1 2022, which we're in right now, token launch, NFT sale, Mavia token launch is going to be happening soon. Staking pools are going to go live. Land hero and statue NFT sales. So this is the whitelist I'm talking about to be able to mint these NFTs. So that's why it's going to be important to try to get on this whitelist for all of these upcoming releases. Q2 2022 alpha and beta testing. So internal alpha testing, web platform QA testing, private beta testing, and then Q3 is public beta test launch. So beta test, web platform release, NFT marketplace launch, and then Q4 is going to be the first 1 game version that's launched at that time. Ruby token is going to be launched at that time, and then they're going to start gameplay balancing at that point, and then additional NFT releases. So one of the other things too, it sounds like they're going to be implementing an MMR system or some skill or some match skill level system, which is going to be nice for players who come in and they don't get matched with opponents that are way out of their league, and that there is an ability to onboard new players that want to play. We'll see if they can balance this out correctly and to be able to have a thriving economy, because this is still relatively new, and then being able to keep the demand of being able to burn the token and being able to buy new NFTs, and then keep the economy steady of people wanting to play and people wanting to come into the ecosystem. That is one of the unique parts of this whole industry, how companies and projects can be able to balance the whole space to not only keep the demand, but keep the player base active and playing. There's always going to be a product life cycle, which means the game eventually dies and the user base dies or gets reduced significantly from where it used to be. There's still always players playing some really old games and still some old games thriving, and you'll have those niche games. So we'll see what eventually happens with this community and the earning potential for the long term. That's always something to consider when looking at these types of games. So here we're getting into the first upcoming land sale. There's about 3K whitelists with 4K public. Whitelists are going to be January 23rd, 30th, Feb 6th, and it's minting around mid-February with a public sale to be determined. We're not exactly sure. There's 3 rarities. There's a common, there's a rare, there's a legendary. 70% of the supply is going to be common, which is at a 0.3 ETH cost. Rare is at 20% of the supply, 0.6 ETH. Legendary is going to be 10% of the supply at 0.9. And these are the different announcements of when they're going to be releasing the different whitelists. So there's the way that they broke it up is pretty interesting. Split it up into 4 pools: content creators, community engagement, art and memes, influencers, and KOLs. So KOL is just key opinion leaders, which is known as an influencer in Western countries. It's great that they broke up these spots so that you know what different pools you can be part of. You can apply to multiple pools, which I recommend doing to be able to increase your chances of getting into whitelist. Content creators is basically creating content centered around the project. It's going to be on a variety of different platforms. They don't have any limits. So if you can come up with something that is less saturated but still gets traction in the community, they will consider that. So you can always think of different and unique ways of standing out from everybody else to be able to create content for the team. That's content creators. Community engagement is like your typical community engagement where you go and you interact, you participate, you add to the conversation, add value to the community, and then you get chosen, handpicked by the mods, by the team, based on your active participation. This is usually going to take longer, but if you have the time, to get a whitelist spot, as we've seen in the past, usually getting whitelist spots for a hype project, you have a higher probability of doing well. Not all projects, but still you have a higher probability based on research and data that has been released recently. If you're great at creating art and memes, this is another way that I know a lot of people do, is to be able to create art and memes that the community loves. If you're really good at this, I've seen a lot of people get a ton of whitelist spots because they're just funny, they're clever, or they're just artistically gifted. And then if you have a significant social following, thought leader that will be recognized by Mavia, then you can already jump to ahead of the line. And it's a small subsection, so more of it is going towards the other three buckets. But if you have that audience, you can shortcut and get to the head of the line. It's mavia.com/whitelist. You can apply for these different categories. Here's what I'm going to do with this project. This has been picked up by major influencers. There is initial demand going into the mint, and I know this because I've looked at the community engagement, I've looked at the discords, I've looked at the like ratio and the engagement ratio, and I've seen different communities pick this up and start talking about this, as well as influencers on YouTube and Twitter. There's a low supply. This is a pretty low supply with a high demand, great socials, discussions, and so I'm planning to get whitelist. For full transparency, I'm going to be submitting this to get chosen for whitelist, but even if I wasn't submitting this, and even if I don't get chosen for this, I will still be looking to get whitelist for this project, and I'll be participating in the community to get chosen. When there's novelty and it's the first of something, especially the first AAA game that's also on the mobile platform, it usually tends to do well, at least for the initial hype going into a project. I'm gonna want to hold and play the game because of the passive income opportunity. So I'll be watching how the game does post mint. So if it gets traction, if it starts to do well, and it can retain the user base through all the testing and keep the hype going, I'm gonna want to build my base. I'm gonna rent it for passive income because I'm trying to build more passive income opportunities with all of these different play to earn games going into this year. The risk here is that a better game comes out by a bigger company that takes a majority of the market share, but we haven't heard of anything yet. So there's still an advantage for first movers that can get traction, but you should always be aware of the potential competitors and be aware of what's getting developed in the market if you do get into the project. It's like all project in the space is, can the team deliver is another risk. They're a relatively new team, so as a team, they don't have a bigger track record and experience together. So this is going to be one of the bigger projects. What they've been able to deliver on looks good so far, but going into the mint, looking at land, I'm going to still be monitoring this and looking for different opportunities to profit. So my opinion is that this whitelist is something to get on because of the high demand, hype, low supply. It should do well going into the mint. And if you have whitelist, take your time, monitor their secondary sales just to be safe. And then if you want to hold beyond that, if you have the bankroll, you have the opportunity to hold, this is going to be on monitor to see if you want to do the play to earn aspect of this. You want to keep up to date with the traction. You want to keep up to date with the game development, player adoption, how much hype is going into this, what the game looks like, and does it look fun? what updates the team is making in the community. Stay up to date with this if this is something that you're planning to hold to be able to play. This is just my opinion and what I'm doing, so not financial advice. I really want this game to do well because I want to be able to play and have a passive income opportunity. I'll be holding and watching the beta tests and the alpha tests, and I'll probably be testing as well if I can get into a land sale. So let me know below what you think of Heroes of Mavia. All the links are going to be in the description below. Subscribe to the channel to get more updates on NFTs and future projects. Like the video if you liked the video, and as always, take care, talk soon, and I'll see you in the next video.